Well, hey friends, it's me, Pastor Doug, with another word of encouragement for the day for today, Friday, March 4th. And today's word comes out of the book of John, chapter 6, verses 48 through 51. And in it, we continue to explore the provocative and powerful statement that Jesus made earlier in John chapter 6, when he said the words, "I am the bread of life." Here in verse 48, he repeats those words and then he expands on it and he says something so significant, I want to make sure we catch it. In verse 48, Jesus repeats, "I am the bread of life." And then he looks at these Jewish people that are standing in front of him and he reminds them of a specific occasion in their history. He says, "Your ancestors ate the manna in the wilderness, yet they died." In other words, okay, you guys know the story of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt and into the promised land. And during the travel through the desert, they ate bread, this little kind of seed that God provided called manna. And so Jesus is saying, okay, you know that story, right? And then he makes this really almost kind of a downer statement. And he says, okay, yeah, they still died, right? That's what he says in verse 49. He says, "Your ancestors ate manna in the wilderness, yet they still died. But here is the bread that comes down from heaven, which anyone may eat and not die." Okay, so suddenly he's not only talking about the manna that the Israelites ate and then died. He's saying, but there is a type of bread that if you eat it, consume it, that you won't die. And of course, the people are on the edge of their seats like, yeah, tell us, what is this fountain of youth? What is this thing that keeps us alive forever? And Jesus says this. He says, "I am the living bread that came down from heaven, and whoever eats this bread will live forever." Okay, so let's explore that for just a second. So Jesus is taking this metaphor, this symbol of bread, and he's saying, okay, just like God provided bread for the Israelites in the desert, he says God is providing me the ultimate satisfaction, the ultimate sustenance, the ultimate provision. But he says the contrast is that bread, they ate it, but they still died. But he says, me, if you take me into your life, if you ingest me, is kind of the way that he's saying it, just a way of saying, if you incorporate me into your life, you won't die. He says that the thing that mankind has been scared of and afraid of and running from and trying to gain a victory over for all of human history, death, Jesus says, I am the solution. I am the answer. He says, if you follow me, if you take me into your life, you will not die. Friends, this is an incredible hope for those of us who have placed our faith in Jesus. And I got to tell you, last week, I did 2 memorial services. Today, I'm doing another memorial service this afternoon. I am around people who physically have died a lot. But friends, here's the hope for you, the hope for me, the hope for many of these people that I'm doing their services, the hope for many of the family members. The hope is here in this passage that for those of us who have placed our faith in Jesus, we don't have to be afraid of death anymore, because you and I are promised eternal life, that when this body expires, we get to be with Jesus forever. We get to live for all of eternity. And that's what Jesus is saying. He's saying that, yeah, that manna, that was great. It kept them alive while they were in the desert, but eventually they still died. But he says, me, think of me as kind of the ultimate bread of heaven. And he says, I don't expire. I don't die out. And if you take me into your life, neither will you. Friends, would you be encouraged by that powerful truth today as we think about Jesus as the ultimate bread of life? Friends, have a fantastic day. I hope that you'll join us this Sunday, either in person or online, for our weekend celebration as we continue to march through these beautiful, powerful statements that Jesus makes about himself. This weekend, we'll be looking at the statement where Jesus says, I am the light of the world. Don't miss it. And then we'll pick these videos back up on Monday. We'll see you then.